Do you have a brunch coming up and you just need some ideas of what to make? Then stay tuned because I've got a couple of ideas for you. Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you some brunch ideas because it is part of the monthly collab that I co-host with my friend Christy over at Christy's Farmhouse, and we have a big group of content creators that have come together to create a ton of ideas for you for that brunch that you have planned. What I have for you is I have a savory and a sweet, so you're gonna wanna make sure that you stay tuned for both. And when you're finished here, then make sure that you go check out Christy's channel as well as the playlist because you are going to love everything, I promise. So for now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting off with the savory, and I'm gonna make sausage muffins. You can use whatever breakfast sausage you want. I'm using the Jimmy Dean hot here, but if you don't like hot, you don't have to use hot. We like hot, and typically I can find the Tennessee Pride hot, which is our favorite, but I couldn't find it this time, so I'm just using the Jimmy Dean hot, and it's still good. But anyway, this recipe is one that I found a while back, a long time ago actually, and I guess I just typed it up. I don't know where it came from. So here you can do a screenshot of the recipe that I typed up and you can save it, but I just basically browned the sausage, and you can drain it if you want to. I don't drain it just because I feel like it doesn't produce a lot of grease, but I feel like what grease it does produce adds, to the muffin. Then you're gonna need a cup of shredded cheese. I'm using this awesome cheese grater that I have. I got it from Amazon, and I'll leave a link to it in the description box because it is awesome. I use it all the time. But anyway, I'm using a Colby Jack cheese. This is some that I just always have on hand. And there, you know that there's a difference between store-bought grated cheese and the cheese you grate yourself, and it really does make a difference. I feel like it just kind of adds to the flavor of the muffins when you grate it yourself. But if you want to make it quick, you can use the store-bought grated cheese. Definitely grated more than a cup, but that's okay. Then you're going to take 4 eggs and you're going to put them in a medium-sized mixing bowl, and you are just going to beat them until they are, well blended, as kind of like as if you were going to scramble them. Then you are going to add to those eggs a cup of Bisquick. And I don't use any other variation of Bisquick. I've always just used Bisquick, so I don't know if there's a substitute out there, but this is what I use. Then you're gonna add a cup of shredded cheese, which I'm adding a little bit, a little bit extra, and you mix that in there as well. And then you're going to add the sausage. And the packet of sausage that I use is a 1 pound pack of breakfast sausage. So if you don't buy the sausage from the store, if you get it yourself, it's a pound of breakfast sausage. But you're just gonna add that to the mixing bowl, and you're gonna mix everything until all of it is well blended. You don't wanna have any of that flour in clumps. Once you have everything well blended, then you can just put them in your muffin tin. And if you want to make them smaller, you can use the mini muffin tin to make more, especially if you're having a large brunch. But these come out so delicious, and they are definitely a family favorite. but you can stick them on a cake plate and they make a beautiful addition to any brunch table. What is brunch without coffee, and what is coffee without a coffee cake? What I'm making right now is a bakery-inspired coffee cake muffins. And I'll go ahead and tell you, it is a little extra. There's a lot of steps to it, but in the end, it's really worth it. And I will leave the recipe link in the description box. But right here, I'm making what will go together to make the strudel that goes on top. And once you put the sugar and the cinnamon and the salt and the flour together, then you're going to add your melted butter. And it specifically says in the recipe to do this step first because it allows all of that flour and sugar to kind of soak in that butter. And so I swore to myself that I was not going to deviate from this recipe like I always do. I'm following it step by step. So this was the first step that I did, and I honestly almost skipped it and just said I'll just do it, later, but I read the instructions fully, and this is what it said to do first and gave a reason why, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm getting this stirred up real good, and once you get it stirred up real good and all that flour incorporated, then you just set it to the side. The next step is to mix the cinnamon and sugar together for sort of the cinnamon sugar swirl that goes in the middle of the batter. So I'm getting that mixed up real good. Next is to start on the actual muffin. So I have my 3 cups of flour already in my mixing bowl. And then I'm just gonna start adding the ingredients. You add baking powder, you add cinnamon, and again, I'll have the full and complete recipe in the description box. Then you add your salt, and I'm doing it like this instead of scooping it out because I actually have rice in here to keep the humidity in the salt down. So I just pour it into my hand like this and scoop it into the measuring spoon, but I'm gonna get that added. Okay, I told you it is a lot of steps, but it pays off in the end. So that's all my dry ingredients. I'm gonna set those to the side, and then I'm gonna start getting together the base, I guess, for the wet ingredients, and that is the butter and white sugar as well as brown sugar. And then you can either do this in a stand mixer, or you can use a hand mixer, which I chose to do the hand mixer just because it was easier for me to get that out than undecorate where I have my stand mixer. So anyway, I'm just gonna get this blended until it's smooth, which was about 3 minutes. Once that's done, then you're gonna start adding your eggs, and you're gonna add 1 egg at a time. And after you add each egg, you sort of blend it in just for a second, just to get it, started getting incorporated. But you're gonna add 2 whole eggs, 1 at a time, and then you're gonna add 1 egg yolk and get that mixed in. Then you're gonna start adding the other ingredients. You're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix that in. And then you're gonna start adding the buttermilk and the sour cream. And you wanna do that slowly. Just, don't dump it all in at one time. Just kind of start incorporating everything slowly and get that mixed in. And once you get all of those things mixed in, then that's when you're gonna turn your mixer down to its lowest setting, and you're gonna start adding your dry ingredients. the, flour, cinnamon, sugar mix. And it is very specific, and it says when you're adding this, add it slowly. And then once you see that it's kind of come together, then kind of stop blending it. It says not to over mix. So I added the flour and started mixing it until the flour was, I couldn't see the flour anymore. All right, I have my muffin dish lined with my silicone muffin cups, and then I'm gonna scoop a spoonful of the batter into each cup. Then I'm gonna take this plastic spoon and I sprayed the back of it with olive oil and I flattened it out. Now I'm adding the sugar, cinnamon on top of that. Then I'm gonna cover that with the rest of the batter. And I filled the batter, the silicone cups to the top, and then I spread them out, spread the batter out as much as I could and as flat as I could, because I wanted to make sure all of that sugar that's underneath this batter is covered and it gets cooked, in the muffin. So like I said, this is the tedious part of it, but it all comes together. I was really questioning, but it all comes together, I promise. So anyway, you just finish flattening all of the batter out. And then once you do that, that is when you get the crumble mix, and you are going to put the crumble mix on top, and then you're gonna press the crumble mix kind of into the batter. And it says this sort of helps the crumble mix bake into the muffin, but it also says to kind of put a mound of the crumble mix into the center. So I'm just gonna finish putting a layer of the crumble mix, and then I go back with I started trying to do it with a spoon, but it worked out better with my fingers. And then this is what it looks like. And you bake it for about, it says 20 to 25 minutes, and I baked it for 22 minutes. Then I took them out of the oven, set them on a cooling rack for them to start cooling. Once they were cool, I took them out of the silicone wraps and put them on a cake dish, and this is what they look like. They look so pretty on this cake stand, so they would be a perfect addition to the brunch table. And this is what it looks like on the inside. These were really good, and these were really very moist. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite, the sweet or the savory. I know that the coffee cake muffins was a lot, but they were really good. So you'll have to make sure you give them a try. Also, please make sure that you visit Christy's channel. You will love her channel. She's so sweet. She gives you tons of cooking motivation, cooking ideas, meal ideas, so you're not gonna wanna miss it. And also, don't forget about that playlist. Check it out. And if you're new to any of their channels and you love what you see, make sure that you subscribe to their channel. If you're new to my channel and you like what you see here, along with shopping hauls, my vendor booth that I have, a lot of thrifting, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss any of my videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you check out the box you see on the screen right now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.